I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Tyler Sharp, as Mary Louise said, and I'm an international sales manager with Kyani. I've actually been with Kyani since last May, but I've been in the network marketing industry working for corporate offices for the past 12 years actually. So I've had some experience, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of the Kyani family. It's just a wonderful, fantastic company. My wife is from here in the Sandy area, and she went to Jordan. She's a very proud beet digger. I ripped her away from her roots here in Utah, and we went up to Idaho Falls 8 years ago. And so we've been there for quite a while. This morning, I'm sorry, I'm going to trump you a little bit. Well, not the 81 degrees, but we left Idaho Falls this morning at 16 degrees. And as we got closer and closer to my wife's home here in the Salt Lake Valley, it got warmer and warmer. We went over the Milan Pass, and it was about 31. As we got closer into about Centerville, it was about 43, and it got to about 46 around here. And my wife turns to me and she goes, "Tyler, I hate Idaho." She likes the warm weather. She loves what Salt Lake does. So anyway, I'm really pleased to be able to be here, and I appreciate Mary Louise having me come down here to share with you some different pieces of the compensation plan. And I've got my timer here, and I've got approximately 30 minutes. There's a lot of meat and potatoes with what we've got going on with the compensation plan, and it's a huge opportunity for anyone that wants to participate and to grow a business. But I want to share just a couple things with you. Our compensation plan is called the Kyani Paygate Compensation Plan. So as I refer to that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Our compensation plan, it represents a combination of some of the best plans that have ever been created, and it's one of the most lucrative and stable models in the industry today. We call it, the Kyani Paygate is what we call it. It's designed to provide each distributor with a stable income over a period of time. Now, there's really three primary ways, and I'm going to share those with you. There's four ways, but there's three primary ways to be able to earn an income with Kyani. And one of the first ways is quick pay. Now, this is something that's new, something that's a little bit different. It's formerly known as the recruiting bonus, but we're changing the name to quick pay. This allows you to be able to put money in your pocket today through your personal efforts. We changed the name because it more identifies its true purpose in what we're doing with what the quick pay offers. The next one is Paygate, where you can develop a residual income this year. The third one, which I'm most excited about, and I'll show you and tell you why here in a little bit, allows you to develop a passive residual income for tomorrow. And the fourth one is the customer program. And we'll get into each of these here in just a few minutes as we move along. But a lot of people ask us what differentiates us from other compensation plans that are out there. We all know that there's an awful lot. We pay on all volume, starting from the bottom going up. That's critical. And we'll talk about this in a lot of detail. There's a stair-step approach to rank and to pay gates, where you always have something close to shoot for. You don't have to build your organization perfectly in order to be able to make money with Kyani. We have one of the strongest customer programs out there. You can choose how you want to make money. There's little breakage on the front end, and what that means is that it allows you to be able to make a lot of money up front, as well as on a short-term basis with the pay gates, and on a long-term basis with the generation check match. And in my opinion, and from what I've studied, we have the most aggressive and flexible card program in the industry, hands down, with 3 levels, and it is fantastic. We'll talk about that. So let's actually start with some of the basics. Volume from your purchases, whether they're your own, your organization's, or your customers' purchases, is split up into 3 basic ways. The first one is QV, or qualifying volume. This volume is assigned to products, and it's used to determine rank and minimum qualification. In order for you to qualify for your commissions, you need to have 100 QV each month. There's a couple ways to be able to reach that point. We'll talk about that as we go. Second thing, commissionable volume, CV. This is volume assigned to products and is used in calculating bonuses. That's how you get paid. SV, recruiting volume or starter volume. This is volume attached to starter packs that is used in calculating quick pay or the recruiting bonus. Let me give you an example. A Health Triangle pack contains the products Sunrise, Sunset, and Nitro Effects, as you know. The Tri-Pack has 100 QV assigned to it. This is a qualifying purchase, meaning it qualifies you for commissions because it reaches the minimum QV amount of 100. It also has 100 CV assigned to it, which means That's where your residual income is going to get paid, is from the CV. SV is something separate. It only occurs on products on your first purchase when you first sign up. Thus the name starter volume. For example, a business builder pack has 130 SV assigned to it. This is where the quick pay comes into play, as I mentioned. We'll go through this in detail here a little bit, but your rank is determined. But what your rank is determines what percentage that you get paid from the SV by the purchase of this of your new enrollee. So we'll talk about these as we go. But I just wanted to go over some of the basics. Let's talk about your organization. We view your organization in two different ways. One is your sponsor tree, and the other is your placement tree. Now, let me explain. Your sponsor tree is really like a family relationship tracker. Everyone you personally bring into Kyani is put directly under you on your first level. When your personally enrolled team members enroll someone, then they are placed under them, which would be on your second level. This placement is done automatically and directly determined by who enrolled who at that point. This isn't something that you need to keep track of. Kyani Corporate definitely keeps track of this, but the one thing that you need to know is that the quick pay is paid from the sponsor tree, as well as the generation check match is also paid from the sponsor tree. Now, the second thing, the placement tree. This is another relationship tracker. Unlike the sponsor tree, you have the freedom to be able to place newly enrolled distributors anywhere you want to in your placement tree. There are a lot of different reasons why leaders would put people in specific areas within their placement tree. They might be synergy of building a team, it might be friends and family, it might be geographical considerations, there's just a lot of different ways. But proper placing of a new distributor in your placement tree is absolutely critical. It allows you to be able to build a wider and deeper and more profitable organization. So it's something to pay attention to when you're placing individuals in your placement tree when they first enroll. We obviously keep track of it too at corporate office. When you personally enroll a team member, you have up to 72 hours to place them in your placement tree, anywhere you want. If you don't place them someplace specific, then the system will automatically place them on your first level. So keep that in mind. Now, at corporate office, we often get asked if distributors can move other distributors around in their placement tree. And the answer is yes, but there's some stipulations associated to it. Let me tell you the policy. After the 72 hours is up, after that distributor enrolled, and you can place them anywhere, after that 72 hours is up, you can make one change for that new enrollee within the first 30 days for free. You need to fill out a form. It's called a placement change form, and it's got to be approved. After 30 days, there is a cost associated with moving somebody, plus the form obviously has to be filled in, and it's got to be approved as well. So keep that in mind. There is no limit to the width of the placement tree. You can build it as wide as you like and have as many legs as you want. But to be eligible for all bonuses as you continue to build your Kyani business in the short term and in the long term, you only need 3 legs. Something to keep in mind as you build your business. Now here's what to take away from the placement tree before we move on to something else. You can place enrollees anywhere you like in your placement tree within the first 72 hours. You can control it, your placement tree, upon enrollment of that new distributor. And the elements that are calculated from that placement tree are rank bonuses, and of course the pay gates as well. I want to dive into this just a little bit more. With the Kyani pay gate, you can earn money with 2 legs or with 3. You choose, it's totally up to you. You'll earn more long-term passive residual income with 3 legs, but you can start with 2, and you can get to about $500 to $700 a month just by working 2 legs. That's it, before you have to start on the 3rd leg. Now let me share with you a few things about your legs. You have a power leg. This means that you generally have the most growth in this particular leg, or the most volume. It's your strongest, your most developed leg. It's called your power leg. You've got a second leg, and this is your next strongest. You've got a friends and family leg, if that's what you want to call it. That's your 3rd leg. And it may not be quite as strong as your second, or obviously your power leg. But each leg, obviously, is very important, and each leg certainly serves a purpose. I'll get back to the quick bit. I put the slides in the wrong order. But you can build your business with 2 legs up to the rank of pearl, as I mentioned. If you're making an extra $500 to $600 a month, let me just kind of paint a picture with this. If the 2010 U.S. household median income across the United States is $50,233, and you reach the rank of pearl with only 2 legs, you're giving yourself a 14.69% raise over the U.S. median income. So that's, for some, this is a life-changing amount. This can make quite an impact in your life. After reaching pearl, if you choose to advance, you'll need to have to build a 3rd leg. We often get asked the question, how do I build my business? This is for somebody from corporate. This can be kind of an interesting question to answer, and I'll be delicate. But there's a lot of different ways to be able to build. Each leader in this room, they have their own idea on how to be able to set up your business or how to be able to build your business, which direction to take. While I can't necessarily stand up here and tell you how to be able to build your business, I will say that you need a balanced approach in building your business with the Kyani Compensation Plan. With the compensation plan, it's not a good idea at all to be able to concentrate only in one leg, your power leg. Not a good idea, and I'll explain that in just a second. But some leaders have found success in using a 50-35-15 type of a formula. This is what some leaders have shared with me. That means that 50% of your business is in your power leg, or your strongest leg. 35% of your business is in your second leg, and 15% of your business comes from your friends and family leg or your 3rd leg. Again, everyone has a different way to build, and I would advise you to get with your upline or your sponsor and talk about different ways to be able to build your business, how to be able to set that up. But the numbers that I've given you are some that I've heard repeatedly from different leaders, and that's how they recommend to build. Now, I want to clear something up that some people have had questions about. I mentioned a second ago that it's not a good idea to be able to build only in your power leg or your first leg. You need a balanced approach. Here's why. If you look up at the screen on this chart, look at Ruby. You'll see that in order to move up in rank and to be able to move up in the pay gates as well, you need to have this balanced approach. With Ruby, you need a total group QV requirement of 25,000 QV. But your power leg, your strongest leg, can have a maximum of only 15,000 QV. That will count towards that 25 from that leg. Now that's a 60% maximum in volume that will count from your power leg. The rest of it has to come from your other 2 legs. Keep that number in mind. 60% max in volume can count towards your power leg. That's effective not only for ranks, but also effective for pay gates as well. So if you've got 15,000 QV from your power leg, you obviously need another 10,000 QV from your other 2 legs in order to qualify for the rank of Ruby. 15 plus 10 equals 25. This QV comes from your other 2 legs. To reach Ruby, you need a 3rd leg, as you can see. It is kind of covered up by the bottle, and I'm sorry, but it's there. But you need a 3rd leg. For the remaining 10,000 QV, you need to reach Ruby. This can be spread out amongst your other 2 legs that you have. But in order to be able to qualify for Ruby, you have to have a minimum from your other 2 legs of 1,250, at least. That's your minimum from those other 2 legs. Fill that remaining 10,000 QV up with your other 2 legs, keeping in mind the 1,250 minimum. Keep in mind a balanced approach as you build, and you'll be just fine. As I mentioned, if you only build in your power leg, you lose money, you lose opportunity, and if you're just focusing on that one leg. The Kyani pay gate was built and designed for a balanced approach. If you're keeping it balanced, you're going to advance through the ranks, you're going to advance through the pay gates very quickly. So don't get caught in a trap of only focusing on one leg, because that will definitely hurt you a little bit in the short run, a lot in the long run. So make sure you build balance. Now, as a